This day 400 Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. This week's Arukh HaShulchan Yomi is sponsored by Rav John Abraham for the schus of his hatzlacha in learning. If you would like to sponsor an upcoming shir or more Arukh HaShulchan Yomi, please contact me directly. Be very greatly appreciated. Today we're doing Siman Ayin Reish Beis, Seif Yud Beis until Reish Ayin Gimel, Seif Aleph. Yud Beis. Rabbi Sefer Bali HaShulchan Achir B'Seif Teska Rosh V'Zel Shalom. Malcolm Shein Yen Yain Motzi, a place where there is no wine. Yeshua, the wine is not prevalent. Yeshua Shem Kachim Al Sheikhos, some people say make kiddush on beer, v'shar mashkin chutz and other beverages besides water. Yeshua Shem Kachim, some people say don't make kiddush. La Rosh Balayla Kesh Al Sheikh Al Paskoy, the Rosh make the kiddush at night on bread, not on beer. Uminech Yodav Alav, it says here in brackets, you place your hands on the bread when you're saying kiddush. It's best and better to make a kiddush on beer. Make a shachar on it before you make a motzi on the bread. Because you start with the bread, there is no heker for there being kiddush here. This makes sense. This minute goes like the rush. There's wine to see, bread, end quote of the Shulchan Aruch. Why is that? You shouldn't eat bread if possible, because you don't make kiddush on bread. Nevertheless, it's better to use bread than beer at night. Because of Rabbeinu Tam, you'll be in conflict with the Rambam. But during the day, somebody's not going to be happy among the Rishonim. Because otherwise there will be no distinction. So you have to go against the Rif and the Rambam in that case. Therefore the halacha comes out like neither the Rambam nor Rabbeinu Tam. Let's say still saying Mutar Lasos Kain. If we're able to fulfill their perspectives, we do so. If we can, we put it on the letter of the law. And he says here, in brackets, Yosem says they are Rabbi. It says they are Rabbeinu Tam. We give preference to being Yotze, the opinion of the Rambam over a period of time. You know, Rabbeinu Tam is great. It was the opinion of an individual versus the Rambam and the Rif. B'duk. But that which they wrote that when there's wine in the city, you should make kiddush on the bread. Wine is better. The superior way to do mitzvah both at night and at day. Nevertheless, we find that great rabbis made the bracha in the morning, the shekiddush on beer. He says the brackets. I'm back with Avram Shemarshal Reb Shachna Reb Shachna also came by Elam Yain Sham. Marshal and Reb Shachna were from the early Achronim in Poland. They made kiddush in the morning at beer, even though they had one. The Torah, unfortunately, have difficulty. They go to difficulty trying to give reasons for this. Because of those who say, what's leave Torah mashkin shabbatol chasuda. They wanted to exempt the beverages within the meal. Not sure why you can use wine for that. Or those who because wine was expensive. Because of there are those who write that our country's beer is the wine of the country, although wine itself would not be better. It's unclear. Just like beer. Because for that reason, we still today have many people make shachris in the morning, especially if they're like a kiddush club. Ayin sarf on whiskey. For most people, whiskey before eating is more endearing by people. Whiskey is the wine of the country. Yes, because of those who want Lushol Kaddish and Saraf not to make Kaddish and whiskey on Kim Bimdina Sharov Shtias Harmony and Saraf, unless they're in a country where most of the drinking the masses is of this whiskey. B'chol Yom every day. And you have to be able to drink a cheek for one shot. Let's say but yes, our whiskey is not so strong, okay, and it is the Chemer Medina, so therefore can use a kiddush. You doubt. All these reasons are not accepted by the heart. The so far yain tobi nishari mashkin. Final analysis: wine is definitely better than other beverages. Wine they make it on wine also during the day. They had wine either in their houses or at least in the city. The Mishnah goes to the reason before that wine was expensive, or that most of the drinking was from other mashkim. But Arukh HaShulchan is not going to go with this. He says, I have another reason altogether. The two wrote that one or other beverage is considered to be the wine of the country. When wine, grapes do not grow within a day's walk of the city. But Mordechai writes it's when the vineyards have been afflicted. All of our ancients, and also the ancient Goyim, Bavel, Sfard, in Bavel, and in Spain, with Service, Ashkenaz, and France, and Germany. There's a lot of wine over there. In all these countries, many grapes grow. But in northern regions, Kishalon like ours, there's no wine at all. And to import from other countries is not possible. To even attain them because it's extremely expensive. Many God-fearing Jews don't want to drink them because the hechsher of imported wines is dubious. We only have raisin wine. It's very difficult to say you make a barei kofen on it. Simon Reish Dal, LC Zayin. Arukh HaShulchan has already spoken numerous times about the shortcomings of raisin wine. Therefore, the great rabbis who are in our northern countries where grapes do not grow, they did this themselves because of wine, because it's anyway raisin wine. But it's enough that they use it at night. But it's really a heavy burden on us. This, I guess, is kind of repulsive, the raisin wine. We have no choice but make kiddush on it. Because of those who wrote those who wrote the raisins should be at least 1 to 6 in ratio to water. Mr. Burris, the Sharatzion says, even if it's very diluted, if it's still considered chen radina, you can use it for kiddush in the morning. But you can't make bar biagofen. So bar biagofen is only if it is at least 1/6. And that's not easy to do, evidently. We even see a G'dalim making Havdalah on milk, or al teimosok, or on sweet tea. Mr. Burns says, the Shari Tshuva says, Yosef, that milk and oil, you shouldn't make Havdalah, because people don't drink milk and oil. Well, nowadays people drink milk, but they still don't drink oil. Shulchan contends, interesting enough, that milk or tea is not chen medina. But because of the oppressive, difficult circumstances, such as you have no wine, no beer, or she can't have beer because it comes from Chodesh, and you're meticulous about Chodesh. In the Kiddush, the minhag has become for many people, they Kiddush at night on bread and in the morning on whiskey. But Havdalah, when it's difficult late at night to drink whiskey, I assume it's a reason. But doing some beverage. Milk is a beverage. And many people drink sweet tea. Because in fact, when we will analyze, if we are meticulous, we wouldn't have any cloud at all, except for whiskey. Because most of our batim in our countries, interesting, because they don't drink weekday, lo yain, lo shecha, not wine and not beer. The whole suda for every meal. Sometimes they be called the wine of the country. Therefore, in this great oppressive circumstance, it's enough that it has the name of a beverage, not even medina, beverage. But this is for sure. The yain yoseto mashkin, wine, real wine, not raisin wine necessarily, is when all beverages, ben kiddush, ben havdalah, ben kos shel bracha, for kiddush, havdalah, and kos shel bracha, all of them. Test Vav. Kasser Rabbeinu Ramah B'Sif Test. The Misha Eno Shosi Yain Mishum Neder. Somebody doesn't drink wine because they took a neder not to drink wine. Yochel Kash Love Yishto Acherim Masubi Mimo. He can make Kiddush and other people drink it. Ein Acherim Mimo. Of course, it's only by Kiddush. By other because then the person making the bracha must be neder for this to be Yotzei. V'im Ein Acherim Mimo. Or if not people say Mikadosh Shapash make Kiddush on bread, v'lo yain, not on wine. Or Shema Kiddush Machem. We hear Kiddush Melas Ad Kan Lashona. And quote for them up. V'yesh Mishchalok with those who argue and say. Im achem yodim lekadesh. If the other people don't make kiddush, why should you make kiddush? We're not going to drink. Why should you make kiddush themselves? It seems, however, the Gamra ben Ramah kavanos kiddush Laila. We're talking about kiddush at night. We're going to achem maybe kash at some and I mean kiddush even they're not going to drink because they don't know how to make kiddush themselves. The Dai should know the zeshni is by that we've explained. The pas chaviv alav when the bread is precious to him. Sheyochel kaddish al pas b'layla. They make kiddush on bread at night. It's not mandatory but you can make kiddush on bread. I mean, you're a kaddish but if you want to make kiddush on wine, I should just be honest. Certainly you don't have to do so, even if it's more bread is more chaviv to you. Portion with that's obvious. The saying yesh l'misha yaitzav chaviv alei and be yoiser. To buy us, we find people who love whiskey so much. Shekachi gamalai, you start to use whiskey at night. Feidas chacham minocha. We Chachamim are not agreeable to this. They're not happy with this. The Belila at night, all yain all pass, either wine or bread. If you like the whiskey so much, you start having moitzi during the meal after moitzi. No shachris all kash yain soraf. In the morning you can't make your whiskey. Some people want to say that whiskey is not included in beverage because the Medrash says Omer Sheshemen Oleh Kol Mashkin B'Ayin Soraf Ein Okay, that oil floats on all beverages, and evidently oil does not float on whiskey. Tosu, it's a mistake. Dafka Yain Soraf Chazok Modeh Sheshemen Oleh. So a very heavy whiskey that the oil does not float on top of it. Now Shosim Yain Soraf Lo Chazok Oleh. We drink whiskey which is not so heavy. For the Monday later Medrash, we don't know from Medrash what the parameters of a beverage are. We see clearly whiskey is the wine of our country. The bracha of wine of Kiddush exempts the wine within the meal, and the wine after the meal couldn't be because it's for benching. Exempts all other beverages. And benching exempts the bracha after drinking the wine. Be'alach says it's preferable to have in mind that benching should explicitly exempt wine. Benching on a kos, benching on a kos is true when they're making a bracha on a kos or not making a bracha on a kos after benching. Kam b'shabbat sh'acham minim mazonos. The benching on a kos, not benching kos. Kam b'shachar sh'acham minim mazonos rachar kiddush teichem dochlim yadayim dochlim masuda and the shachar is also a minute to make kiddush, then have mazonos and then wash immediately afterwards. Answer brachon agam mazonos don't require brachon even on the mazonos. Again, here Bir Halacha says it's best to have in mind when you're mentioning that it should specifically cover the bread which you ate. Those are what as follows. Imu be'erev Shabbos, makom sheyesh bo yain, because erev Shabbos place has wine. Yodeh b'Shabbos lo yeh yain, but on Shabbos somehow you won't have wine. Kashi b'yom yain b'yishteh. You should make kaddish on the wine and drink it before Shabbos begins. But you can't do malacha after you take that kiddush. The Shon, the back says, you won't have, by when the sun goes down, you won't have wine for kiddush. Has wine now by mincha. Because we have the only kiddush during daytime. I see the base at night when you come to your house, they make another kiddush on bread. And be motzi, the members of your household, I guess, didn't hear the first kiddush. But he says, it's got to be after plug. He says, the brackets, if you have a choice between kiddush or down with the tzibur, kiddush comes first. Like kiddush hayayin, kiddush and wine, you can't do both. Is not sure about this. Arukh argues. He says if you have a choice between wine kiddush with tibur, daven tibur, kadosh labas, and then make kiddush on bread. Lo tefillah b'tibur kamishim kamom. Lo tefillah b'tibur kamosh yichavel labas. The duke. Davening should be no worse than somebody who finds bread more endearing than wine, who's allowed to make the bracha on the bread. Simon Reish Ayin Gimel Shetzarech Kiddush B'Makom Suda. Kiddush has to be in place of the meal. Aleph. Kaimon Den Kiddush B'Makom Suda. We know that no Kiddush it's not effective of Makom Suda. Shekash Makom Shiocha, you have to make Kiddush place to eat. V'lo Makom Acher, not another place. The Gazeba says across the Shabbos Oinig, call Shabbos a time of pleasure. Makom Shatokol Kriya the Shabbos, where you call out the calling of Shabbos. Shatom Mekadshim, when you make Kiddush there. Sham Tei Onig Shul Suda. There should be the pleasure of the meal. It's not exactly because of Chazal, but it's really a riff in Rashbam in Psachim. V'gam Kiddush Hayom, Af Shein Omaz Kiddush Shabbos, even the Kiddush today, even though you're not mentioning Shabbos, and we come to Chavod Shabbos, but nevertheless constantly honor of Shabbos. But the Sfaro, besides it's a logic. We think about Kiddush Hayayin, since Kiddush has been fixed on wine. It says and we stumble we assume those made to be recited on the wine of the time of the Sulah, the Chashi, which is significant. Male do it in the Shar Mashkin, that's true about other beverages as well, whatever you're using. The person doesn't drink if the person is sitting as a person without eating as well. Pashu, it's obvious, it's simple. The kshem should tzarech le'achol makom haKiddush, just like to have to eat place where the Kiddush is made. Mochen, so to him, ein lo lamshich zman rav achar haKiddush esas uda shlo yehevsei gado bein osayim. You should not tarry for long after the Kiddush to make a big interruption between the Suda and the meal. The Yamsikar Beizman, if you have a long interruption, and as soon as the Shem Kiddush, the Suda is not recognized to be connected to the Kiddush. Meal Matzman, but little time, ain't clear, there's no problem. You shouldn't go, it's interesting, you shouldn't go a long distance off to the marketplace after your Kiddush, but a small distance is fine. To Enk Beta, that's not a problem. If I understand, we will see in Simon Dalad more about that.